All right, let's head off, I reckon. Hey everyone, we've made it to Adelaide. Now I'm over here at Pete's Classic Car Sales. Now, a lot of cars in here. We're going to go check this out. We've got a big day today, so what we're going to do is from here we're going to go to the HGTK Nationals for the kickoff meeting, which is going to be at the Dirty Devils Car Club, just here in South Australia. Now that is going to commence, but hey, let's go look at all these classic cars that are in here, and they're awesome, and a lot of them they're up for sale. So hey, if you see something you like, you might want to have a look at it as well. But let's get into it. This place is awesome. Like, what wouldn't you love about it? Like, there's cars everywhere. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So come and have a look. So, as you know, we're at Pete's Classic Car Sales now in Adelaide. Pretty good. We've had people like Bag Q come through here before. Now, beautiful cars like this old school Valiant, mate. It is lovely. Nice hard top. Someone's obviously already bought this one, but otherwise, this thing is just a stunning car. The interior is immaculate. Engages, everything are perfect. The color is brilliant. I love the color, actually. I wouldn't mind doing this on my van, this color. This is not too bad at all. But this is a stunning vehicle. See, these are the kind of things that you need all the time on there, yeah. And why wouldn't you love this? What's an SS Torana? Restored, okay, but done a whole rotisserie restoration, 110 grand. And this thing is brilliant. Paintwork on this is sensational. Engine in here is fantastic. The 308. It's got a 350 turbo or 400 turbo?
That's 4-speed.
4-speed. Okay, it's 4-speed manual. Even better. Right, people can have some fun with that. And the interior on this is absolutely stunning. Like, pretty much like a factory interior. Perfect. No, that's good for the price it is. Absolutely, very original, classic car, lovely as hell.
See this? What we over here, we got Tough Leaf Hoist.
Yep.
We got a few stickers.
Oh look, we put one of our own on there.
Pretty good.
And check this out. This is a genuine XU1. Now, this is an amazing car. He's owned this one for a while now. I've been told over 8 years or 9 years. This thing is just a beast. It's just straight out of bomb. You know, what he's done to it. We'll have a quick look under here. And yep, got the setup. Triple Strombergs underneath here. Even with the original cartridges, they're awesome. Now that is a bomb. These things went hard. No, and the reason why they call these the giant killers for the XYs on the track. These things would fly around that corner, drop down into the straight, and just outmaneuver all the XYs. You know, it would be amazing being like someone like Peter Brock driving one of these things back in the day on the track, coming down the straight and then just whipping around. Like, be amazing, absolutely amazing.
Got the twin pipes happening.
Yep. Well, that's the old school thing, wasn't it? They used to have the twin pipes coming out the back like that, you know? So I like that, I really like that. And hey, GTS, I mean, it's a replica of this one, I assume? Yep, definitely. But this thing's still nice. It's very nice. It's 4-door sedan, which is perfect. You know, the colour and the silver and the bloody orange on this just pops. It's just brilliant. So when you're looking at this, it means there's not much to do on this car anyway. Like, you could get this, take it home, and sit it in your garage, and this would be an absolute weapon. You know, the engine's getting it's pretty stock standard, but it's just lovely. This is just one of those you sit at home there and you'd be proud of just having in there, for sure. God, there's so many cars I would love to buy. I wish I was rich. I'd buy all these cars and just store it at my house as much as I possibly could, you know. And even things like this is what, an old FB, FC? I think it's it might be FJ actually. This thing's bloody amazing. The old bloody delivery vans, they used to call them. This thing's wicked. Oh, I've always liked them. Like, you know, people have had these ones, like even Phil with his old panel van, and he's got an FB, and he's done it up the way he wanted to do it. It's just great, absolutely great. These things are wicked. And the back end, right, depending on what model you were, they changed it up. Because FB had the lid come down a certain way, and then FC had it the opposite way. So I think it's better this way, because the other way, you had to put the bottom down, the top down first, and then put the bottom tailgate up after that. So this way is a lot better, 100%. Now we know this one's not for sale, but this is a weapon. This is a beautiful car. You know, GTS, HQ Monaro. Not sure if it's original replica, but it is still a beautiful car. Like, gold is really just pops with the black. Someone's obviously taken the time to make sure that this line down the body was very sharp. Unlike the factory ones, factories was a bit more rolled. This is quite sharp, the line on here that the person's put, but still looks good. I mean, the paint looks fantastic, you know, gold pops out, got the twin pipes in it. Probably, probably 350. I'm not sure what kind of, we're talking about gearbox inside. Oh well, it's an auto, so it'd be maybe a turbo 350, a turbo 400, something like that. But no, she's good, perfect. She's a nice looking unit. Someone's taken some time to dress up the engine a bit, and the brake system's all been done, ICE ignition. So, and this thing ain't gonna get it hot, especially with this bloody radiator and fan system. That is well done, you know. And there's so much to see around here. Like, I know he's got heaps of stuff. Like, we've got parts room that's over there. I mean, even that itself, if you do old school Commodores, that's perfect as well. Got parts room that has a lot of stuff to see. So let's go have a look and see what he's got in the parts room. We've got a lot of Ford parts in this side and a lot of GM stuff over this side here. So if you're after something, you might find something in here that might be actually worthwhile for yourselves, either being Holden or Ford or even Valiant or Mopar stuff. I know he said he's got some key barrels and things like that for the Mopar, which Mopar people are always after those key barrels, because they always flog out after a while because they're a solid unit. Can't fix them up. Once they're gone, they're gone. So, but this is great. He's got all these different parts in here to choose from. Pretty much like back in WA, you've got people that supply these kind of parts and things like that as well. But this is great that it's got something like this here in Adelaide to rely on, it, plus with all the other people. And like I said, Ford stuff. Ooh, that's something I like. I could use that in mine. More store, 300. Yeah, I could put that in my C4. That would be good, actually. Been looking for one of those. Nah, but wow. XY parts and all sorts of stuff in here, so it's fantastic. Beautiful. System XR, XT. Wow, there's a lot of old school stuff in here, which is wicked. Old Venetians. You know, they're hard to get these days, the original Venetians. never alone everything else that's in here. Those consoles are rare as well. You know, people are doing the replica ones of those these days and paying really good money from them from places like Subaru and stuff like that. And they do a really good job supplying XY4 parts as well over in WA for us. But this is great. They've got something here in Adelaide. And then, look, you've got all sorts of other parts as well here, so which is great. Lights, dash faces. Commodore stuff, everything, yeah. And you know what? And everywhere you look, there's something on the walls. So it's good to see in a place like this as well, because it's good to have that memorabilia. Yeah. I like having stuff like this hung up on the walls because it captures the environment that you're selling in. Plus, these old gas tanks, these are wicked, you know, absolutely brilliant. So in this area here, they've got tyres, bumpers, they've got audio stuff. There's a lot of other bits and pieces that can be used. Trims for the rims. Got a lot of tools that they do their work with here as well. So, you know, good old signs like the Bob Jones signs there, which is classic, hanging up in the garages like this, which is perfect. But some of these bumpers are hard to get, and they're in really good condition. So, you know, some of them probably still need a little bit of re-chroming, but a lot of them are, you know, pretty much you could just take off the shelf, rebuff, and they'd be good to go now, you know. Plus you got like a, what's that, a Tradies HQ front end? Yep. Got a hideous bloody front indicator lights on those things, weren't they?
I reckon those indicators look the best, you know. I can see that on the Monaro.
It reminds me of those bloody warning beacons that flash around those lights. Yeah. And then you got like all the engines in here. So they got 302s and a whole bunch of 308s, all sorts of stuff here. Bloody, well, that's
A bit dark, but
old 351. That's fine. You know, so great in itself, and there's plenty of other stuff that we can go down that way. But they have a lot of old school motors and things like that. So at the front here, there's a whole bunch of other cars here. Now this thing is beautiful. 360 auto stock. The paintwork on this is pretty good as it is. It's not, it's a bit darker than the old Sherwood greens because these only came out with certain numbers in Sherwood green. I don't know the name of this, comes like more like an emerald green or a forest green, but this thing's with 360s in it, these used to fly. These are big V8s and these bloody monsters, and they did the track hard. And this is pretty good. Like, you wouldn't have to repaint this. This is good to go. So the only thing that you'll need to do on this kind of car is really basically redoing some of the interior. Because when you look at some of the interior, you've got some of the interior that's got a couple of rips and tears at the back here on the top parcel shelf there. The tombstones have got a couple of rips and stuff and like that in. But apart from that, if you didn't have to do anything else besides that, this is good. So for the price this is, you're getting a really good bargain. Like, I would love to have something like this in my stables. Plus it's got the Convo Pros, which everyone wants Convo Pros on their cars. You know, I like to be a bit different, so I'd probably mix them up and put the old jelly beans back on, you know. But at the end of the day, this is a stunning vehicle. And then you got the Tory lovers. Now, Tory lovers, well, this is a mock-up, but now this has got an LS in it, 350, 9-inch, been engineered already. So at this point, this car is good to go from that point of, depending on what state it actually goes to. You'd probably have to take that engineering and put it into the state that that belongs to. In WA, you might struggle with it in WA, but in other states, you'd probably be fine with it because of the power to weight ratio for an LS in this car. Otherwise, every other state in Australia is pretty much good. WA just sucks when it comes to it, but hopefully the Australian Street Machine Federation of WA is going to rectify that with the Department of Transport shortly, and we can get stuff like this on the road and people can build their cars how they want it to do and have that kind of retro mod, a resto mod kind of look to it. But this thing is beautiful interior wise, don't have to do anything interior. This thing with an LS in it, whew, go like a shower of shit, you know, it's awesome. This thing, SS in papaya, it's an SSLX genuine hatch. That is amazing. You find an actual genuine one. Now, I'm not sure if the engine's genuine numbers matching in this at the moment, so I don't have those details. But for the price tag it is, this is sensational because these are hard to get. Anyone that's been chasing SS's, everyone knows, are hard to get. I've only seen a couple of these come up, especially in the papaya. There was one for sale in WA probably about 2 years ago, and I haven't seen it since. But this would be great. And you know what? You know, these done up are absolutely brilliant cars to do. Absolutely brilliant cars. But you've got over here, you've got a mock-up of a Pacer. Okay, so this has got V8 in it. I'm assuming it's probably a 318, being a Pacer. I don't think they put the 360s or 340s in this size. So like more like a VG. Hardtop. It's a beautiful car. Okay, so this started its life as a Valiant Regal. It's beautiful inside here. There's a few tears that you'd have to fix up and a few on the trim of the consoles and things like that. But otherwise, the paint job on this is absolutely fantastic. You know, and for what it is, we've got all, you know, if you wanted to have it as a Pacer, you could. You just got to change around a few of the badging on the console to get that right. Otherwise, this is perfect as it is. Paint color is beautiful. Always love the orange on these cars. They shine really well up. And you know what? It's got the Pacer dash and everything. So the only thing is, what's under the hood, you know? So let me have a look. I'm pretty sure if it's an V8, it should be a 318. It is a 318. Awesome. Definitely. Nice, clean, tidy, extractors, everything. Everything's where it should be. No, someone's done their homework on this. 100% sure, you know? And then you got this big old F-truck, right? In like a magenta color, which Matchbox lovers, like magenta is probably the best color of all the Matchboxes. But this is a big girl. There's a big girl, you know? I wouldn't want to be driving around this without a fuel tank behind you, you know, like, too much. But, hey, these things are becoming more popular nowadays because nowadays people are changing these up because this has got the old 351 auto in it. People are changing this style up to the old Pro Tourers now, dropping them lower, getting all the suspension underneath to make it look like it drives like a sports car underneath, but has the look of a truck on top. And when they do it up, they look amazing. Only problem with this, most people cut the beds down, make it a short bed instead of a long bed, you know. This is probably a bit too long for that kind of Pro Tourer, but you could still do it, you know, depending on what your budget was. But this is not too bad for what it is, or even if you wanted to keep it as it is. This is sensational. And then you got things like the VC manual over there, which is 222. That's got a slant 6 in it, which is great. But that's like grandpa spec, so that's pretty much, someone's had that pretty much the whole entire life and just kept it like that, so, which is great. VK Commodore Vacationer, this is a 6-cylinder one, but this is a good project start for someone. You know, you get into this and you could do anything to it, really. You could drop it, you could bloody put a V8 in it, you could do whatever you want to do to make it street legal. But these things are good. The fact that this has got minor rust in it is a good thing, you know. There's not much at all. So just a couple bits in the door, a couple bits on the trim here. But that stuff could be used, but for what it is, oh, look at it. But I like this. Now, it's not original GT, it's a replica, but done in the pepper red, it's an XA. This thing is beautiful. obviously someone's put the Cobra Jet in it. Let me see if I can grab that. Yep. So it's got the old shaker in it, 351, and it's got the auto extractors. Mate, look, it's a nice vehicle for what it is. It's got a little bit more that needs to be done to it, but you could drive this around quite easily without having any problems. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the shakers coming out of the bonnets. You might put that down a bit. So it catches on there. Yep. But it's got the Simmons 5 spokes on it. You know, the interior needs to be done. It's got some rips and tears in the trim. But at the end of the day, this is a very good starting point, considering you don't have to do the paint work. You don't have to do the paint and body. So you're 95% of the way there. So this is a good project for someone to kick off and get it ready to go fully. But love it. Especially love the colour. Like that pepper red is brilliant. Plus it's got a really, you know, strong GT back end like the old XAs and XBs did. All of them look really good from the back there. And then you got a HQ that someone's put a WB Caprice front end on, which is kind of a little bit different because most people didn't like WB and didn't put WB parts on Statesman. So, hey, everyone's got a different taste, and not judging it. I think it looked quite fine for what it is. So, but everyone is different. Everyone's got their own opinion on how they do their cars. But this is still good. You know, 350 with a turbo 400. You know, a lot of people like Toranas because there's not much to do on them. They're pretty straightforward. You know, you don't have too much body and panel and paint and everything. So you can do a lot to these back trays to customize them however you want. And as we've seen with people that we've done with, like Happy, for example, customized his tray, had it lifted up on struts and everything else, and everything is hidden underneath there. So you don't see any of this at the top, but he also lowered his tray so it came down underneath that body line, because that also helps with the actual way the body tracks and drives on the road. Doesn't bounce as much when you drop that tray a bit lower. So hence why people have been doing that. Get it underneath this body line that's here, and you'll find that the back end doesn't bounce around and jump around like bloody Tigger. Okay, so down this area here, we've got parts that line both sides, so things like grills, panels. There's around the back we've got bumpers and things like that. So they've got a lot of things here that you can use for your classic car, being a Ford, Holden, Chrysler. They've got it all here too. So you guys need to come down and check out these guys, and if you haven't got parts for your car that you need, maybe this is one of the guys you hit up while you're in Adelaide. Find out if you can get it, and if you can't get it from here, pretty sure they know where to get it from as well. So keep in touch with them. And but mate, I wish we had something like this in WA, because we don't have anyone that really does the classic cars in Perth that is not like this. There's just classic cars. We've got classic cars mixed with normal cars and that in Perth, which is, I wish there was just a one-stop shop like this. This is great. All right. But otherwise they do some other panel and paint work and everything down the back there. So I'm pretty sure they offer other services and things like that as well, but you'd have to come down and speak to Pete about that and sort that out. All right, so guys, get online, check out their website. Also, check out their socials, Facebook and things like that. Find out what they've got up for sale right now. But this is just a taste of what's around, so you can get in there and have a look. But hey, if you're in Adelaide, come down and check out this place. See what you can get, you know, because there might be something that might be really suited for your project or what you want to kick off right now, without buying someone else's problems. Get something that's already half done and just finish it off. So, all right, I'll leave that one with you guys, but I've enjoyed myself, and if I was rich, I would be now broke, okay, because I would have spent a lot of money. All right, let's head off, I reckon. All right, we're off to our next destination. We got a lot more to do, but let's go do it. All right, I'll see you next one.